Hello everyone, this is Qazaq Cinema program, and Bekbolat Uvaliyev is with you. In the next 20 minutes we will tell you and show you what is happening in modern national cinema. We will see how the Kazakh-Japanese family drama Little Samurai is filmed, and we will talk with an actor and stuntman Yerden Telemisov about the features of the profession and difference of work on Kazakh and foreign film set sites. The nature of our country is unique, and one of the most amazing places in Kazakhstan is the Aral Sea. Once Aral was ranked the fourth among the largest lakes in the world. Today, the once largest body of water is turning into a desert. A special screening of the documentary film Tomorrow the Sea, directed by Katerina Suvorova, dedicated to this topic, was held in Astana. The director told our program how this documentary was filmed.
I want to say that for me this film began with such a little randomly chaotic student's idea to go to the ships on which Viktor Tsoi was filmed in the movie The Needle, directed by Rashid Nugmanov, but in an amazing way, in order to get to Aralsk, where we arrived by train from Almaty. Before getting to the ships, we had to get acquainted with a large number of local people, with volunteers who went to the fishermen, and we went to the sea with them while sharing the price of gasoline. I'm kind of already looking for ships, but I'm already so excited. And who are these people? And how do they help the fishermen there? What are their conversations about? It turns out the fishermen are returning to their routine, which was interrupted for a decade. And all this became so interesting to me that when I had already seen these ships and went back to Almaty, I thought more about these people than about these magical, amazing, surreal images. Well, this is how the movie was appeared.
The world premiere of the film took place back in 2016 at the festival in Locarno, Switzerland.
This is an extensive international festival. Viewers, the audience requested more screenings. There were 3 screenings in the grid and another screening was scheduled at the request of the audience. And I understand that they came to watch a film from Kazakhstan, and this is astonishing.
One of the main media achievements of the documentary Tomorrow the Sea is getting into the media libraries of the largest streaming giants Amazon and Netflix. The project was also acquired by several international TV channels.
For me, the story with Netflix, I somehow combine it into a common story. We did our best, made a high-quality, creative film. I tried to make it fun, but there is still a large part that does not belong to me and does not belong to my creative ideas. It belongs to our Kazakh stories and the interest of the world to us. And I think the same happened with Netflix.
There is one more addition to the list of domestic film projects implemented jointly with foreign studios. The filming period of the new Kazakh-Japanese film Little Samurai has just ended in Almaty region. This is not the first time the international authors tandem, director Yerlan Nurmuhamedov and producer Sano Shinju has been working together. Sano Shinju has already implemented several Kazakh projects, including The Picture by Sergey Kaprimov and Amir Karakulov. The uniqueness of the Little Samurai project is that the joint production implies a full-fledged filming process and film distribution in Kazakhstan and Japan. Kazakh director Yerlan Nurmuhamedov, together with Japanese director and producer Sano Shinju, are preparing a film called Little Samurai. The picture tells about the real story of a boy named Masao Miura, who found his second home in Kazakhstan. The action of the picture takes place in the post-war years. The plot is about a 13-year-old Masao who decides to help his father and brother while crossing the border on Sakhalin Island. But by coincidence, he falls into the hands of the Soviet border guards. The court sentences the boy to 2 years in prison, and after his release, he is sent to a labor camp in Kazakhstan.
Этот проект, вот так как он имеет под собой реальную историю,
This project has a real story behind it, about a boy who ended up in Kazakhstan by the will of fate. And it was interesting for us to make the film be for children on the one hand, and on the other hand, it was necessary to tell a real story that shows how difficult it was at that time. Initially, we wanted to shoot a comedy, but for some reason the script did not work out. Filming of the international Japanese-Kazakh project took place in the village of Kuigan, Balkhash district, Almaty region, and lasted almost a month. In addition to filming in Kazakhstan, the project was also filmed in Japan. To do this, the director of photography, artist, and makeup artist of the picture traveled to the land of the rising sun.
я считаю, очень хороший шаг, чтобы
I think this is a huge step for our specialists to travel to other countries and shoot films of the joint production. In Japan, we will shoot some dreams and a documentary part, an interview with the wife of the protagonist. Since the film belongs to the category of low-budget films, the children of the film crew members were involved in some roles. For example, the main character, the 13-year-old boy, is embodied on the screen by the son of Japanese co-director Sano Shinju.
вообще это такой больше семейный.
In general, this is such a family project because everyone came with their children. The director of photography was Murat Nugmanov, and the cameraman was his son, Alan Nugmanov. My children also played in this film. It turned out to be a family film. Also, the world-famous Kyrgyz film director, a member of the European Academy of Film Arts, a member of the Asia-Pacific Film Academy, Aktan Arim Kubat, was invited to the ensemble of actors. He got the role of mentor of the protagonist.
Ахтан, он режиссер.
Aktan is a director and he starred only at his own place, and then only in the last 2 or 3 films. But to the great happiness he became interested in this role and agreed. And after that we thought, why don't we invite another director as an actor? For example, Darijan Omirbayev from our side. And we got into such excitement. We were already thinking of inviting Sergei Dvortsevoy for a small role. But he could not, as the schedules did not allow. It is worth noting that this is the second film created by Yerlan Nurmuhamedov together with a Japanese director, Sano Shinju. The recognized product of their collaboration was the feature film Before the Thunderstorm, which won the Grand Prix at the 7th Eurasia Film Festival in 2011. The creators plan to present the new picture at major international film festivals and organize a wide release in Japan. I'm Japanese. I wanted to show the film in Japan, first of all. In 2021, we shot a movie here based on the true story of the Japanese soldier Akihiko Tetsuro when he was captured during the Russian-Japanese War and sent to Karagandhi, where I wanted to show the relationship between him and the Kazakh people. In the new film, the main theme is the same. It is about meeting good people, about the period he grew up here. And of course, I really want to show this film to the people of Kazakhstan. The beauty of this project, I think, is precisely in the joint production, plus the low budget that gives the form of a free interpretation of history.
Именно свободной трактовки.
Kazakh actors and stuntmen successfully conquered the world's film sets. Today, the largest streaming services and media giants have projects with the participation of Kazakh actors in their catalogs. One such experienced international actor is Yerden Tulemisov, who is active in venues around the world. Yerden, welcome.
Hello. Ну, начнем, наверное, с того, что...
Let's start that there is such a fact about you. You are the only Kazakhstani actor at the moment, the only representative of Kazakhstani cinema who participated in 4 projects that were released on the 4 largest global streaming platforms. Let's recall and discuss in order, but first we'll list. Is this a series?
Ну, сначала перечислим. Это сериал...
This is the Marco Polo series.
Marco Polo 4.
Netflix.
Great. Next is the series Warrior 4.
Warrior for HBO.
Next is the British TV series MacMafia.
It's for AMC and BBC One.
And quite recently, one might say, you returned from London, where you participated in the series Slow Horses, which was filmed for another large venue.
This is Apple TV.
Ну, я внесу небольшую поправочку, наверное, потому что...
But I'll make a small correction. Probably because, perhaps among the actors, yes, I'm one of the first. Already working with full large productions, but the Nomad stuntmen probably work with even more international brands.
Well, this is the legendary team Nomad Stunts.
Ну, тогда давайте вспоминать по очереди.
Now let's remember accordingly. A project for Netflix called Marco Polo. What year is this?
2014 год. Так получилось, что Netflix и тогда не...
This is 2014. It so happened that Netflix was not known in wide circles at that time. It was a novice production, and they filmed in Kazakhstan for 2 weeks. And so my close friend, who worked part-time as the head of the group Nomad, told me, Americans came to shoot here, and you can come to the casting. Try yourself. We, the villains of Qazaq Cinema, came and impressed the producers of Netflix so much that they asked us, literally, we do not want to spend you in Kazakhstan as the extras. We invite you to Malaysia to act in the main cast. To be close to Kublai Khan. The series Marco Polo tells about the reign of Kublai Khan. And so, as far as I remember, 10 Kazakh actors and 12 Nomad stuntmen went to Malaysia and filmed there for 4 months.
Поехали в Малайзию, там где снимали 4 месяца.
4 months filming. Was it the first experience?
First international experience.
Then let's move on. After the Netflix project, you have gotten another big international project. That is...
The second was the MacMafia project.
MacMafia.
MacMafia, yes it is.
Хотя пришлось мне там какие-то трюки самому делать.
This is not my stunt job. Although I had to do my own stunts there, I had to beat people. It was no longer prepared. Yes, this was my second project. AMC and BBC One. The British series MacMafia. It's about the Russian mafia for export. And it's very interesting that I could make it to these British projects thanks to the internet. I'm just very active in my social networks. And it turns out that we are friends on Facebook with Murat Bisingaliyev, a well-known conductor and violinist, the international scale star. He has a daughter, Aruhan Galiyeva, who is a British actress. And it turns out that the British cast addressed her telling, you are half Kazakh. You probably know some actors, such dangerous bandits, evil Asians. She said, I'll ask my dad. And since Marat and I are friends on social networks, he wrote to me, and miracles happen. Everything turned out thanks to Facebook.
Thanks to the internet. Did you get involved in these projects?
Yes, I did. I ended up on MacMafia first. And after MacMafia, thanks to the fact that I starred there, I also got to Slow Horses.
And were you already familiar with the local casting directors who invited you to the next project?
Yes, I was.
What about the Slow Horses project? You spent 6 months in London in 2021. Everyone must have followed Yerden on his social networks, not without a share of envy. How was the filming? What happened during these 6 months? How many seasons of the series Slow Horses were filmed? And how did you feel there?
Что происходило за эти полгода? Снимали сериал вот Slow Horses, медленные лошади. Сколько сезонов было снято? И как вы себя там чувствовали?
This is a miracle, and I say that if I dreamed about it very much, I would never imagine in my wildest fantasies that I would participate in such a project. I think that none of the Kazakhstani actors has yet starred with stars of this level, because I will say that Gary Oldman plays the main role in this project, in the Slow Horses.
Главную роль играет Гарри Олдман.
People, work. Transfer papers. Are you still here? Work. Excuse me, answer the simplest question. Where is that river Cartwright?
Попал тоже абсолютно невероятным путем. Дело в том, что
I got there too, in an absolutely incredible way. The fact is that the casting director of Slow Horses is Nina Gold. Nina Gold, if people don't know, someone probably doesn't. I will clarify. Nina Gold is the casting director of Game of Thrones, Star Wars, Paddington, The Last Bridget Jones, that is. She is one of the best casting directors in the world. And it turns out my role in Mafia really pleased her. The way I quickly and with quality worked there, it was my killer skills in the frame. She liked it and she said, "Find me this guy."
она сказала, найдите мне этого парня.
Bring me this guy.
Yes, indeed. They are friends with the Mafia casting. And then I got a letter. At first I thought it was a prank. Then I answered. Then Nina Gold called on Zoom. I went through video tests, and in fact everything worked out. And I can probably say that this is for me. On the one hand, my most exciting role. On the other hand, this is the most pleasant part of acting work. I lived in London for 6 months. Production rented an apartment for me for a month and a half. I later found out that this apartment was rented for about 100,000 tenge per day.
Отель. Я потом узнал, что эту квартиру снимали, по-моему, 400 фунтов в день.
So you're ready to accept such conditions for the sake of Kazakh actor Yerden Telemissov?
Yes, and for me it's certainly nice. It's 500 meters from Soho. It's a kilometer from Buckingham Palace, a kilometer from Trafalgar Square. And the most beautiful thing about it is that during these 6 months I actually worked on the set for only 19 days.
19 days.
19 days.
You were in London for half a year, preparing for the filming period, training, but the shooting itself.
And there were no trainings, because this is not a stunt project. It were my acting skills that were needed here. From the very beginning, I remember I went there in July. I was contacted by an accent specialist because of playing the Russian mafia there. A little spoiler. And we worked on the accent so that I had the right accent in the role. Then in July I went for a fitting and 1 day of shooting. There were just rights. Then I asked when the next shooting would be. They told me, there is no shooting in August. We will call you in September. That is how I'm used to coming abroad to work off my money. And they tell me, get used to it. This is how Hollywood actors live.
За рубеж и работать, отрабатывать свои деньги. Он говорит, привыкай, так живут голливудские актеры.
That is, the producers told you that there is no filming in August, so you can just wait for the shooting days.
Съемочные дни. Ну и как человек, который поработал также на международной площадке.
Well, as a person who has worked on an international platform, you saw the quantity and the quality of locations there. Can it be compared with Kazakhstan? Because we also have a lot of places where there is beautiful nature, unique natural objects. Can we say today that Kazakhstani locations are also at a high level in global cinema?
Это однозначно. Однозначно я могу сказать, что уникальность именно Алматы и...
That's for sure. I can say that Almaty is unique. And these conversations have been going on for 1,520 years. The uniqueness of Almaty, our region, is that almost all climatic zones can be found within 500 kilometers. We also have the sea. This is Konaev. We have got Sharin, a canyon. We can shoot Mars. Somewhere in Kazakhstan, we can shoot our wonderful mountains. That is, modern locations, Singapore, or something like that.
Well, we see your love for the profession. It is felt. We wish you great victories. Thank you. And we wish you projects in which the credits will indicate director, producer, actor.
Jackie Chan.
And Jackie Chan is Yerden Telemissov. Well, I remind our viewers that today our guest was an actor, producer, stuntman, Yerden Telemissov. This was Qazaq Cinema program. My name is Bekbolat Uvaliyev. In the next episode, we will learn about even more interesting facts about national cinema. Let's love and support modern Kazakh cinema together.